Any Plush, thanks for super chat. Congrats on the lore art for Nimi Nightmare. Get some rest though. That's right. Okay, funnily enough, guys, I'm playing Marvel Rivals, and I'm playing with Dobi, playing Marvel Rivals. And I'm just like, hey, Dobi, you know, I'm just kind of sick. Whatever. And then I'm playing with him, and he goes, Caspurr, well, this was actually really surprising because you guys know Dobi. We collabed that one time. Definitely a newer friend of mine. But Dobi goes, did you do this video for Nimi? And I go, what? And I was like, oh my god, I wasn't even, I had misremembered the time. I didn't even realize. And I was like, oh my god, is that happening right now? Well, first off, I was like, how did you even know that? You know, I think my viewers wouldn't recognize my art, but I was like, I can't believe that Dobi recognized my art. Definitely the line art. Yeah, people, I saw on my Discord, you guys were saying there's like a classic Caspurr cross hatching. Is it iconic? I guess so. I did have a few of you guys message me. I know Big Ham was like, hey. And I was like, hey, Hammy, I'll turn you into Big Spam.
And the 3D for the mascot was done by Big Ham, who did a great job. The lore video was done by Caspurr Catacini, and the lore video turned out so good. I think it's so funny. No, I'm just kidding. Big Ham was like, you did this art, didn't you? And I was like, oh, well, yeah, it was fun. It was fun to do. If you didn't know, I had the wonderful opportunity to make the lore video. Write in, I don't know what you call it, produce, make the lore video for Nimi Nightmare's debut. I'm really glad people liked it. I feel there's a monopoly on VTuber lore videos, so when I was asked, I was like, oh, yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to. So I'm glad you guys liked it. It's scary. It's scary because I was like, you know, Nimi's debut is such a big deal. And, you know, for me, I was like, the lore video is going to be like, I assumed at the time, now I know that it's how it turned out. Because that's how usually, the lore video usually goes first, right? And I was like, this is a big deal. Because this is like the first thing that people are going to watch, right? When the stream starts. So I wanted to make sure that we had the right interpretation of how Nimi wanted to kind of set the stage and portray herself. We didn't have the most time. And not the biggest timeline. So, well, I don't know. Maybe Nimi was like, we don't have a lot of time. Who's the best person to deal with a time crunch for an entire animated lore video? Who saves his projects for the night before? Oh, yeah, Caspurr Catacini. Okay, but I did not this time around. I actually gave myself time ahead. But it was fun. It was fun. It was interesting to. Because I usually do this kind of stuff for myself. This is the first time I've really done anything of the sorts for another person. So it's very... I think I tried harder. Because I was like, with me, I look at the clock and I'm like, oh god, it's 1 a.m. Fuck it. Whatever. But I was like, I don't know how many people are gonna see this. Like 7,000 people. Oh, I gotta make sure it's good. It's like 70,000 people, and I was like, oh shit! Good thing I didn't procrastinate this thing. She said she wanted something like funny. Initially, I was like, ooh, I don't know if like, you know, because I'm thinking like, all the stuff I do for myself is really wacky, right? You know, because usually VTuber lore videos are very like serious. Right, and kind of this, they all try to be this like kind of avant-garde kind of thing, really put a spotlight. And I was like, oh, I don't really know. But she was like, no, you know, I want it to be kind of like a comedic thing. And I was like, really? Because I mean, it makes sense to you guys, not because you saw it, right? You saw it unfold and like how she wanted to present herself. It makes sense, right? But you gotta understand that didn't exist when I was first brought on for the project. You understand what I mean? Like I didn't have that, like that Nimi Nightmare like didn't exist. Cause I was like, what? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what kind of like, but she was like, no, I want it to be like really funny. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I gave it my best shot.
I'm glad I did. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna do that anytime soon for anybody. That was a lot of work. It's better than my own lore video. Well, because that's the thing, you know, I was like, oh, this isn't the most time. And she was like, no, she said, I saw your lore video, just something like that, you know, just kind of straightforward, punchy, animatic. And I was like, oh, okay, that's not what happened though. I mean, if you've seen my lore video, that's not what, not anywhere close to what we ended up with. I will say, I'm not drawing Nimi Nightmare anytime soon. I drew this little chibi, color dropping the dark green skin tone, beige hair, white, dark green skin tone, beige hair. I drew so many little chibi Nimis. Never again. All right, time to try. And then draw I had like a system of min-maxing the quickest way to draw chibi Nimi. Start with the cheeks, then do this, hair. Well, when she sent me the voice recording, and I started listening to it, and I was like, okay, there we go. And it all like came together. It was just like, oh, perfect. And I just knew immediately like the kind of vibe and stuff. Was the commercial bit your idea? I can't remember. No, I think Nimi knew that she wanted it to like be a television program, that it needed to like cut to something else. But I wrote the script, so I came up with like the actual commercial. I think what was surprising to me was I was listening to the voice actor for it, the narrator, and it was really weird to hear someone else speak my words, because I wrote the script, right? And it had a little bit of my isms that I didn't even realize, because in the beginning of the video he goes, a breadth of wildlife that you couldn't even possibly begin to imagine.
A bountiful wealth of wildness that you couldn't even possibly begin to imagine.
And I was like, wait, what the? I say that a lot. You can't even possibly imagine, or something like that. I forget what the line is, but there's like a part there that I was like, huh? I didn't even realize I had done that. The napkin. So the idea was, the premise was Nimi's. She had this premise of she wanted it to be like you're watching a TV, and she knew she wanted it to be like a animal documentary parody. But the commercials, that part with the napkin, it's a parody of like OxyClean. Remember? Billy Mays here with a new
Hi, Billy Mays here for OxyClean, the stain specialist.
It's Billy Mays, but the product, I was like, remember the ShamWow? I think that guy ended up going to jail. But the ShamWow, it just soaks up everything. And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if it was just the opposite, where it was like, not only is it worse than ShamWow, it's just worse than like a napkin. More Vtuber as BIONICLE OCs. Okay, that was my own doing. I was like, the line is like DeviantArt OCs.
Between doodling her DeviantArt era OCs.
And I was like, I drew from personal experience. When I was younger, I posted DeviantArt OCs of sexy BIONICLE Kajinkas on DeviantArt. That's true. That didn't come out of nowhere. Can you ever show us them? You're sick. No. Oh wow, can we see it? I don't have those. Also, there's multiple. You think that that's like a niche thing? You're not going to be able to find it because there's a community of sexy BIONICLE Kajinka artists. Did she ask for it? No, I wrote the script first and then I gave it to her to review. She didn't say anything about it. I don't know if I wonder what she thought. I never brought it up. I don't know if she like knew what a BIONICLE was, because the part's in there because she needed to review it, right? And she was like, okay, that's good. And I was like, okay, I guess she's like, I guess it's good. I mean, she said it's good. So like, I don't know what she was thinking. She was like, DeviantArt OC BIONICLE. I don't know if she was just like trusting my instinct that I wouldn't do something weird or crazy, or if she was like, oh yeah, BIONICLE, that's cool. I didn't ask her. But of course, who doesn't know what BIONICLE is? When all you gotta keep is strong, move along, move along. So good. BIONICLE's so cool. Oh, BIONICLE. You don't know what BIONICLE is? They're like these action figures that from Lego. And you build them. Man, it's actually kind of hard to describe Bionicles. I like the Roly Boys. They're round and they had the brains in their little flippy heads. It was cool because the container was like part of the lore. Because the cinematic trailers, they're like these bugs and they have cocoons. And so the cylinder that you bought the toys in were those cocoons. It was super cool. Also, okay, this is crazy. What was interesting was to see the comments on the lore video and have people point out all the little references. And the one I was really surprised about is in the Nimi Wellness Center, the second commercial that is talking about, first of all, it's a parody of the Sarah McLachlan ASPCA, right? The animal one. I think most people got that. But the actual drawing of the Nimi Wellness Center, like the building, I saw one comment that was like, LMFAO, that's Outlast. And yeah, the reference picture was the building in Outlast. Of course, it looks a little different just because, you know, I was just drawing it based on a reference. But like, yeah, it's just, when I'm making these things, I always have like these little jokes in my head, right? And you don't get to like fully explore them, or rather it'd be in bad taste to explain every single little joke or reference. But I just love the idea that like, oh, the Nimi Wellness Center, yeah, she took over the Outlast mansion. I don't know, I just thought it was funny in my head. I just tried to do what I thought was funny. Well, I'm just very proud of where we're at and the projects that I'm doing. Like, between that lore video and my Ghost Ghouls and Monsters MV that I did myself are probably the two best pieces of content I've ever made, truly. As like a all-around encapsulated piece of content that can be put out in the public and be criticized compared to like other content in that same sphere, you know? Those two, in the past 5 months, I've probably produced the best artistic pieces that I've ever done, which is my Halloween music video and Nimi's lore video. So it's just really cool to be involved with it and getting these opportunities to explore it. Thanks to Nimi and like you guys for giving me all these different like avenues to like explore these things. So yeah, just really grateful to be able to try out different things and just put it out there.